One day, in a future so distant that the numbers stop meaning anything, there will be a single faint flash of light. It will happen in a universe that has already been completely dark for longer than there are atoms in your body. No eye will see it. No instrument will record it. And when it fades, nothing will ever happen again. Not a star being born, not a particle moving, not a single event anywhere for the rest of time. That flash is the last thing the universe will ever do. And tonight, I'm going to walk you forward to it, slowly, one dying era at a time, until you understand something most people never let themselves feel. The universe is not going to end in fire. It is going to end in cold, and you are already living inside its death. Here is the part that should unsettle you before we even begin. You think of the universe as old. Nearly 14 billion years, an unimaginable stretch of time. But that number is not the story of an old universe. It is the story of a newborn one. We are not living near the end of the cosmos. We are living in the first, faint glimmer of its childhood. The brief, warm, well-lit morning before an almost endless night. If you took the entire future lifespan of the universe and shrank it down to a single year, everything that has ever happened, every star, every galaxy, every living thing, all of human history, this video, you, would all be crammed into the first fraction of the first second after midnight on January 1st. The other 365 days, darkness, cold, emptiness that goes on and on and on. We are the warm spark at the very start. And the universe is already, quietly, beginning to die around us. The lights are going out. You just can't see it yet because we're standing too close to the fire. Let me show you how the fire goes out. It starts with the stars. Right now, the universe is doing the one thing it will never be able to do forever. It is making light. Across the sky, gas collapses, ignites, and burns. We call this the stelliferous era, the age of stars. It's the only age in which the universe looks the way you imagine it. And it is almost over. Not in your lifetime, not in a million lifetimes, but on the true clock of the cosmos, the age of starlight is a passing moment. The universe is running out of the raw gas it needs to build new stars. Every star that ignites uses fuel that will never come back. Slowly, star formation is winding down. The big, bright blue stars, the ones that blaze and die young, will go first. Then the yellow stars like our sun, which will swell, shed their outer layers, and shrink into fading embers. And what's left, at the very end of the age of light, will be the dimmest, most stubborn stars of all, the red dwarfs. A red dwarf burns so slowly, so miserly, that it can keep going for 10 trillion years. Long after the last sun-like star has died, these dim red coals will be the only light left in the sky, scattered, faint, and getting farther apart as the universe keeps expanding. Imagine a night sky with almost nothing in it, a few red points, impossibly distant, bleeding the last dim warmth into a growing dark. And then, one by one, even they go out. The last star flickers, cools, and dies. And for the first time since it began, the universe goes truly dark. But dark is not the same as empty, because something is still out there, and what comes next is worse. Welcome to the degenerate era, the age of corpses. When the stars die, they don't disappear. They leave bodies behind. White dwarfs, the cooling cinders of dead suns, each one packing the mass of a star into a ball the size of the Earth. Neutron stars, collapsed cores so dense that a single spoonful would weigh as much as a mountain. And drifting between them, cold and lightless, the dead planets, the frozen moons, the wandering rogue worlds that no longer orbit anything at all. For a while, These corpses still glow faintly with leftover heat. But heat leaks away into the cold of space, and it never comes back. The white dwarfs fade from white to red to a deep, sullen infrared, and finally to black. Black dwarfs, dead stars so cold and dark that they no longer shine at all. The universe becomes a graveyard of invisible bodies drifting in a dark that has no bottom. And here is where physics turns genuinely terrifying, because it comes for the matter itself. There is a real possibility, taken seriously by physicists, that the proton, one of the fundamental building blocks of every atom in your body, in this planet, in every dead star, is not truly stable. That given enough time, protons themselves slowly decay, fall apart, dissolve into nothing but faint radiation. If that's true, then it doesn't matter how solid something is. The dead stars, the frozen planets, every last scrap of ordinary matter left in the universe, all of it slowly evaporates, atom by atom, over a stretch of time so vast that 1 trillion years wouldn't even register. The corpses don't just go cold, they come apart. And when the last atom decays, the universe is left with almost nothing at all. Almost. Because a few things are still out there in the dark, and they are the most terrifying objects that have ever existed. This is the black hole era, and for a length of time that dwarfs everything that came before it, black holes will rule a dead universe. When everything else has faded, the stars, the planets, the very atoms, the black holes remain. They inherit the cosmos. Titans like the ones at the centers of galaxies, some of them billions of times the mass of the sun, sitting in an ocean of perfect dark, having swallowed everything within reach. There is no light for them to bend anymore, no gas to devour, nothing left to fall in. Just black holes, alone in a black universe, for a span of time I genuinely cannot make you feel, because your brain did not evolve to hold a number this large. We are talking about a universe that stays essentially unchanged, dark and silent for a googol years. A 1 followed by 100 zeros. Compared to that, the entire age of stars was a single spark that flared and vanished in the first instant. But even black holes are not forever, because black holes leak. They radiate their mass away, unbelievably slowly, as the faintest possible trickle of energy, until, after an almost eternal wait, they have nothing left to give. And a black hole that has spent a googol years evaporating does not go out with a whimper. It ends with a flash. The very last black hole in the universe, the final one, the largest, the most patient object that ever existed, will finish evaporating. And, in its last instant, all the energy it has been holding on to since the death of the stars releases at once, in a single burst of light and particles into the surrounding dark. A flash, small, silent, seen by no one. In a universe that has been utterly black for longer than words can carry, that is it. That flash is the last event, the final thing that will ever happen in the history of the universe. After it, the numbers stop meaning anything, because nothing is left to measure time against. There is no next moment worth naming, only the dark and forever. What comes after the last flash has a cold, honest name. Physicists call it the heat death of the universe, the dark era. The word heat is a cruel joke, because it means the exact opposite of warmth. Heat death is what happens when everything reaches the same temperature, when all the energy in the universe is spread out so evenly that there are no hot spots and no cold spots, no flow, no difference anywhere. And difference is the only thing that ever lets anything happen. A star burns because it's hotter than space around it. You are alive because your body runs energy from order into disorder. Everything that has ever occurred, every event, every thought, every moment happened because the universe was not yet evened out. Heat death is the moment the universe finally finishes evening out. A thin, cold soup of stray particles and dying radiation, drifting through infinite black, all at the same near-zero temperature, spread thinner and thinner as space keeps expanding forever. Nothing to fall together, nothing to ignite, no structure, no events, no time in any way that matters, not for 1 trillion years. Not for a Google years. Forever. This is not a pause before something new. As far as our physics can see, this is the final, permanent state of everything that exists. An endless, uniform, freezing dark that never, ever changes again. And the worst part is how quiet it is. There is no explosion, no climax, no merciful final curtain. The universe doesn't die in a scream. It fades out so slowly and so gently that there is no single moment you could point to and say, there, that's when it ended. It just gets colder and emptier and lonelier until there is nothing left to get colder. That is the slow death. But you should know, it might not be that patient. Because there are faster ways for all of this to end, and some of them could begin at any moment. The universe isn't just expanding, it's expanding faster and faster, pulled apart by something we barely understand and named dark energy for lack of anything better. If that force stays constant, we get the slow cold death you just heard. But if it grows stronger over time, we get something far more violent, the Big Rip. In that ending, the expansion of space itself turns savage. First, it tears the galaxies apart. Then, in the final minutes, it rips apart solar systems, then planets, then your body, then the individual atoms, space stretching so hard that nothing can hold together against it. The universe doesn't fade. It is torn to pieces from the inside out, or the opposite. If there's enough matter, the expansion could one day reverse, and everything could come crashing back inward, every galaxy falling together faster and faster into a single, roasting, infinitely dense point. The big crunch, the universe collapsing back into the fire it was born from. And then there is the quietest terror of all, the one that needs no billions of years. It's possible that the very fabric of empty space is not truly stable, only pretending to be. That somewhere, at any instant, a bubble of true, lower energy space could appear and expand outward at the speed of light, rewriting the laws of physics as it goes, unmaking everything it touches. You would never see it coming. It travels as fast as the warning could. One moment, everything is normal. The next, there is no next. We call it vacuum decay, and there is no evidence it can't happen tonight. So, that is how the universe ends. Not one ending, but a menu of them. And every single one finishes in the same place. Silence. Cold. Nothing. Here's what I want you to sit with. Everything you have ever loved is temporary. Not just you, not just everyone you know, but the stars, the galaxies, the light itself. Given enough time, every trace that any of it was ever here will be gone. No monument survives heat death. No memory outlasts the last flash. The universe will not remember that we existed, because there will be nothing left to remember with. And yet, look at when we are. We are not in the cold dark that lasts almost forever. We are in the first, impossibly rare sliver of warmth and light, the one flickering instant in the whole future of the cosmos, when there are stars in the sky, and worlds beneath them, and eyes to look up, and minds that can even ask how it all ends. We are the universe's brief window of being awake. On the true clock, it will be dark for effectively all of time. It is bright right now. The lights are going out. Slowly, but they are going out. And they are never coming back on. Which means the warmth you have, the sun on your face, the people beside you, this single bright moment in an ocean of cold is not the ordinary state of things. It is the miracle. It is the exception, and it will not last. The void is patient. It has all the time there is. We don't.